Welcome to part 2 of the Financial Aid Application Status Report overview video. In this video, I'm going to walk through some student scenarios and how to utilize the report for the AB 469 initiative. You can access this report through web grants, and the part 1 video walks through how to download and format the report. I have formatted this example report as a table and have color-coded 2 example students. First, I want to review the EFC column. The EFC column is for the expected family contribution that is calculated on the FAFSA or CADA. If the application is submitted with no errors, an EFC will be calculated. However, if there are errors when the application is submitted, such as missing a parent signature or missing a required question, no EFC will be calculated and the student is notified to resolve the errors. On this report, the EFC column shows as blank if a student has successfully completed their application or if they have not submitted an application. The only time there is a value in the column is if there is an error. In that situation, the column will say no EFC. You can see some examples here that indicate that. This means the student needs to log back into their application and resolve the errors. The action needed column says outreach and resolve FinAid app errors. Therefore, the EFC column's main purpose is to flag a student's application that has errors because without an EFC, they will not be eligible for financial aid. The other students that have nothing in the column, you don't need to be concerned about for their EFC and their application status because that means either they have successfully completed it or still need to start it. So that's a different type of outreach messaging for that student. Moving on to the action needed column, this column provides a summary of the other column data to allow easy filtering of what each student needs to complete the financial aid application process. After adding the column filters, you can click the down arrow to view the different cohort of students. You can uncheck select all and then select one action needed category at a time. For example, students with the action needed as none means that they have completed the process. For these students, if it shows awarded Cal Grant as no, that simply means they are not eligible either because of their GPA or income. So no further action is needed for these students. They could still be considered for other types of financial aid, but for whatever reason, they're not eligible to receive Cal Grant. The next category is outreach and resolve FinAid app errors. So these are the students where the EFC column is showing as no EFC, like we talked about earlier, and they will need a reminder to log back into their application and fix any errors. Their student aid report should provide information on how to resolve those errors. Next up, we have outreach to submit FinAid app. This will probably be your largest cohort of students, and you can send a message to them to remind them to submit an application and include any information about upcoming Cash for College workshops or other resources for application support. So hopefully this provides a straightforward way to add all of their names into a mass email or maybe a text message service if you have that capability, and provide the links to the FAFSA and the CADA, maybe explain the AB 469 initiative if you would like. But yeah, basically just an easy way to see how many seniors still need to submit an application to be AB 469 compliant. Next up, you may have some students who started late, and so you have the upload GPA needed cohort. So if students came into your school after the GPAs were already uploaded for the majority of your students, you may have a few that you just need to submit a GPA for. So this list will provide you with those students. And then the last one is upload GPA and outreach to resolve FinAid app errors. So this cohort, you'll need to upload the GPA for each student and then also send out a reminder to correct errors on their financial aid application. So they're getting close to being complete, but still need to go back in, make updates, and then also have their GPA so that that completes the Cal Grant eligibility application. All right, so now let's look at those 2 example students. As you're working this report, you may notice that some students appear on here twice, and that is having to do with the fact that for Cal Grant consideration, they need a financial aid application in our system and a GPA uploaded, and both of those need to match together. And so you may be familiar with working the unmatched report where, for whatever reason, the application and the GPA are not matching in the system. So that's where on this report, it is pulling in that data. So for this first student, Laura Alvin, she's appearing twice. This first entry is showing that the GPA uploaded is no, and then the financial aid application submitted is yes. However, she does have the no EFC flag. With this second entry, it's showing that there is a GPA uploaded for her, but no application. With the no EFC, Laura actually needs to go back into her application and fix those errors before anything can be done about the fact that her GPA and application haven't been matched. So that will be the first step for this student, is to have her go back into her application, make the corrections, and then at that point, the application can be matched to the GPA. The second example, Sarah Perez Vasquez, similar situation, so 2 entries here. With students that have 2 last names, it is very common for the application and GPA to not match in our system for whatever reason. So in this example, there is a hyphen between the 2 last names on the application, but not on the GPA that was uploaded. So that could be the reason it's not matching in our system. For this first entry, it shows GPA uploaded no, Fin aid app submitted yes, and then the EFC column is blank, which indicates that the application was successfully submitted and it is complete with no errors. So then on the second entry, it shows that the GPA was uploaded, no application. In this scenario, the school can actually go in, so the user, if you're working this report, you can go into Web Grants and utilize the Match Non-SSN GPA to Fin app screen. And at that point, you can look up the student and be able to force match the GPA and the application together, because you can confirm that that is the same student and it is your student, so you're able to match it for her to ensure that she can be considered for Cal Grant. We do offer live webinars on how to match GPAs, and we have a pre-recorded version on our YouTube channel as well. So I hope this video provided more insight into this report and how to utilize it to assist your students with completing the financial aid application process. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And hopefully this is a helpful report to ensure that all students are able to complete the financial aid process. Thank you for watching.